Are Thundertusks any good in patch 6.0.3? Now, let's be real, the actual question of salience is whether it's ever worth taking one over a Stonehorn. This is a legitimate question that hails from the tabletop era, so what was CA's answer? Let us inquire and see. And spoilers, yes, it brings a whole lot that the Stonehorns don't. Thundertusks are quite distinct, but let's take a look at the details. Recruited for a massive 2,300 gold and a monstrous 575 upkeep per turn, this gets you a single entity that has 10,674 health on an ultra unit scale, armor is 100 with a missile resistance of 25%, leadership of 75 is actually pretty fine. Speed 66 is paired with a terrifying charge speed of 120. Melee attack begins at 44, but like the Yetis, it inflicts frostbite and has magical attack, the latter having a lot of importance in terms of demons all over the place. Attack interval 3.8 is a bit more frenzied than the norm, splash target size is large, so ogres on down, and max target damage is 5 under the current regime. Melee defense of 30 is about what we'd expect, it's not atrocious. Weapon strength of 480 seems strong-ish, split between 140 base and 340 armor piercing, which is pretty heavily tilted toward busting gut plates. There is a bonus versus infantry of 20, which is nice to have. Charge bonus is 50 and mass is a stony 7,500. Now there's also a ranged component, and this is where it gets intensely interesting. Before getting into that, there is an unlisted projectile from the Ogre on top with a crossbow, sniping enemies on his own. Take what you can get, but it's just a bonus. So, for the so-called breath attack, ammunition is 30 default and range is 200 meters. Nominal missile strength is 271, but here's where we see that the ranged is also frostbite and magical attack, and frostbite on a ranged attack means 30% less speed and an easier target for other ranged units, like lead belchers. Damage per impact here is base 65 and 250 armor piercing, certainly no slouch. Not only that, there's a detonation radius of 12 meters, shockingly high, inflicting 10 base and 55 armor-piercing explosive damage to entities caught in that blast. There's one shot per volley, this has an artillery-style arc, reload time is 14 default, total accuracy of 30 is higher than usual, and goes up with veterancy. Calibration distance is 170, so it's at max accuracy for much of its range, and calibration area of 25 means that there is still a lot of potential to drift, but the rising total accuracy figure mitigates this. Someone wanted to make extra sure that there was no penetration in the stats. Max targets is listed as -1, so the explosion is against the target hit full stop, in various senses. This unit is a siege attacker, is listed here as causing terror. Where's the fear part? I don't know. And has wall breaker natively. It has the wounds trait nerfing it some if it's really heavily damaged, and the chilling aura, a -30% speed debuff around it for 35 meters, independent of frostbite, like Morngul Haunters and Chill Guys get, and not the aura of frost of the Yetis, just so we're clear on that. The artillery weapon can damage and break city walls and towers, not just gates, but like all similar weapons, it's accurate enough firing at where a unit was, but not necessarily where a unit will be, which is why you need some kind of tarp hitting to get the most out of it. In the redline skills, it is once again Beast of the Mountain at 3 pips, providing plus 12 armor and plus 12 flat charge bonus, adding to this unit's melee strengths, and Trained Beasts offers rank 7 ones plus 5 leadership, plus 10% speed, and plus 7 melee attack, which is welcome. But keep in mind, this is not an increase to damage. Hitting more means inflicting more damage in the longer term, of course. In the tech tree, Nomadic Beast Pens offer its usual -10% upkeep, which we are immensely grateful for here, and plus 1 recruit rank. Arctic Air grants plus 15% more speed, and 25% reduced fatigue buildup, we'll take it. Toughened Skin is 10 more armor and 10% more missile resistance, welcome all. But now we have text common to Stonehorns and Thundertusks. Spiked Tuskars as plus 5 melee attack and plus 10% weapon strength. You know the weapon strength I said was missing from the redline skills. Stonehorn breeding as 10% ward save, just in case you didn't think they were tanky enough, and adds 2 uses of Thunder Charge bound to the units themselves. Well, this might work out better. 120-second cooldown, and there's a little inconsistency in this Total War Planner entry, but Thunder Charge was in a previous version with a particular building in the camps. Point being, it's 24 points of 100% armor-piercing damage as a wind-type spell, perfect for damaging a couple of rectangles of Chaos Warriors. Damage is damage, we'll take whatever we can get. Note that in 6.0.3 they removed certain hunter buffs from the Thundertusks and the Stonehorns that would apply to Blood Vultures, Yetis, and Saber-Tusk packs. So how do you use the Thundertusk? Like I said at the start, the issue is why you use one over a Stonehorn, and that question has been decisively answered. Being able to inflict magic attack at range and slow stuff down for your allied missile troops means this is the perfect complement to a lead belcher happy army for taking down large single entities generally. Failing that, just busting blobs of regular infantry should work remarkably well, reducing the strain on Noblar trappers and so forth. And then once you've fired enough, you go and charge and mess things up, and stuff has a harder time getting away from you due to the aura, even if you miss with the horns. The principle is very simple, but the fact it's fully effective against Chaos Demons and lots of other resistance-happy forces makes it a luxury you want with you. But of course, it is a luxury and priced accordingly. You need your finances in order to afford this. Still, it's bringing a lot of bite. Or rather, frostbite. Take care, and have fun inflicting this monstrosity on your hapless enemies.